My name's Jean. My Dharma name, my Buddhist name, is Myogan, Yakugan Myogan, which is medicine source luminous vow, which is quite something to live up to. And I'm the abiding priest at Black Mountain Zen Centre in Belfast. That's a big question. It's the fourth largest religious group on the planet. It's a group of different religions, different practices that follow the teachings of a guy called Gautama Buddha. And he taught to sit quietly, notice what your mind is doing and what stories it's creating. And that this is a path, he called it the path of liberation. So Buddhism is the study of the path of liberation. People who are very strict in their own religious practice might see it as paganism, or, ungodly. I think we are less challenged than some other faiths. We're not associated, for the most part, with any violence or any massive problems. There are some groups in Myanmar, for example, where Buddhist monks do behave in violent ways, and it's a mark of how Buddhists are usually seen, that people are shocked by that. It's kind of fashionable right now to be a Buddhist, I find. But people completely misunderstand Buddhism. They think it is part of yoga. Old friends say to me, "Oh, I hear you're practicing yoga up a mountain." And I'm like, not really. There's a bit more to it than that. And the challenges are also, finding ways to bring the practice to people. There isn't a Buddhist tradition in the West so much as there are other religions have their backgrounds, have their, places where people practice, have the groups. So for the most part, people practicing Buddhism in the West have to figure out how to, what channels to use to bring the Dharma, bring the teaching to people. No, I don't think so. Mostly the people who come to the Zen Center have already don't have prejudices against Buddhism. I haven't been going into the community particularly. There is a photograph of me sitting with a PSNI officer at Ulster University, and I didn't realize until I saw the photo afterwards that he was still wearing his gun. It was very interesting. We're sitting face to face, and he's in full uniform, which includes, he took his boots off before he sat on the little stool, but he had his gun. And there were some people who felt very strongly about that picture, and that it had that it was sending a signal to the wider community that we were allied with a particular group. But in fact, I felt that what the picture said was that we welcome everybody, even people with guns. I think we notice it in ourselves first. This is the first step. And my Buddhist practice teaches me so much about my judgments, about other people. I think we warm to the people that we feel are like us, and we push away those that seem different and that we're scared of. So noticing when that arises is a very helpful first step on the on the way to a greater integration of society. I think the most important parts of the training precepts, the guidelines for practice, are kindness and respect. So we have a loving kindness practice where we try to treat each person as a mother would her only child, where we take care of everybody in our environment and respect them completely. Respect their right also to practice in their own lives in their own ways. I would hope that more and more people would come to practice as a way of settling themselves, exploring what's going on internally as part of the healing process. That a community where there's a history of trauma, I experience in Northern Ireland more than in the South where I grew up, caution. People are understandably cautious. And I really feel optimistic about how practice can teach a kind of fearlessness, because we see ourselves in the other person. We see the person on the other side as our brother or sister. I know my teacher, Paul Haller, who's originally from the Falls Road and has been in San Francisco Zen Center for about 30 years. He comes back twice a year and he works with cross-community groups, meeting and receiving people in a way that helps them feel understood, helps them feel that they're being heard. And I think that's really important. So it's going to be okay. Things are going to be okay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. And that's also part of my Buddhist training. Everything's going to be okay. You're all right, and everything's going to be okay.